So the other day I was on YouTube just doing what I do when I was recommended a horror short film, and seeing that it looked interesting and wasn't too long, I was intrigued. So I watched it and I was disappointed, to say the least. But it gave me an idea. So what I will be doing, I will watch 4 short horror films here on YouTube and give you my thoughts on them. Like a mini review, let's say. It is going to be a mix of my reactions while watching it, as well as my thoughts after finishing it and rewatching it a couple times, just to make sure I don't miss anything. And the video I will be starting with, A Smiling Woman Christmas, simply because it is the shortest. A girl named Zara steps out of an elevator, then sits down on a bench as she's talking to her mom. She won't be home for Christmas due to work, since being Santa's little helper is a full-time commitment.
Zara? Zara?
Sorry, there's this... Mom, I gotta go. My phone's about to die.
Smiling woman vanishes, then reappears, and even leaves Sarah a nice little present. Okay, that one got me. Inside the present is a yellow summer dress? That's a summer dress, right? Huh? I thought your phone died. Then how are you getting texts? So yeah, she gets a text to look behind her, and there's Smiling Woman again. Spooky, spooky. I'm more interested in how she's sending you texts. She doesn't even have a phone. Clearly fearing for her safety, Sarah walks a few feet away and sits down on another bench at the same train station? Okay. But oh no, Smiling Woman is there as well. Sarah can't call the cops because now the phone is dead again, and Smiling Woman starts doing the Thriller dance. Zara then runs into the elevator again where the woman is waiting for her. Zara gets jumped, cut to black, then walks out of the elevator where she's presumably been possessed. She then gives a smile as she gleefully hops away. Okay, my initial thoughts, not great. I think the premise is interesting, but I really do not buy this girl as a scary demon lady thing. She looks way too nice, and her smile is not creepy at all. This is the type of smile you give when it's picture day at school and you have to force it. There isn't really much happening, just a couple jump scares and sound cues. And don't even get me started on when she does a robot. It's just so phony. But hey, at least it's only 4 minutes, so that's a big plus. I will therefore give it a 5 out of 10. Okay, on to the next one in line. The horror short Dual.
It's time to
There's this kid who's coloring in drawings to some real intense music. Dr. Gabriel walks in and sits down with him. She says that he needs to stay there for a while, but Jack would rather be at his grandma's. His name is Jack, by the way. All his drawings are of 2 things, Mr. Pinky the Clown and Mr. Beasley the Bear.
What's wrong with Mr. Pinky's hands?
That's the first thing you noticed? Not the depressed sun, not the demonic smile. Maybe he's just a bad artist, leave him alone. So yeah, Mr. Pinky the Clown uses his razor-sharp fingers to attack those who Jack doesn't like, and I don't like you. No, I'm just kidding, you're cool. Ah.
Jesus, this kid is split right down the middle.
So what are we thinking here? Is this dissociative identity or schizo?
Look, I'm a scientist, I don't need to say the whole word.
And what does Captain Beasley do?
He sort of protects me, like a shield.
Dr. Gabriel wants to talk about what happened to Jack's mom, but he responds like Drew from Everybody Hates Chris.
Wasn't me.
Jack!
I didn't do anything!
Out of nowhere, something cuts the board behind them while the room starts heating up uncontrollably. Dr. Gabriel tries to sedate him, but his imaginary friend has other ideas.
Captain Beasley, stop!
Captain Beasley, stop! Dr. Gabriel loses an arm, Dr. Scientist loses a friend, and gets trapped inside with a killer clown. Dr. Gabriel tries to reach the alarm, but then... Oh no, this is so lame. The clown at least looks pretty cool. Everyone dies while Jack wills himself back to his grandma. And this is how the short film ends.
Sorry, I can't stop them now.
Would I say this is better than the first one? There's definitely more to go on, that's for sure. It's more than double in length. But it's not that good. I simply don't find it scary, even though this is meant to be horror. Horror is meant to be scary, no? Yep, says so right there. Thank you. I mean, the practical effects don't look too bad, except for this obviously rubber arm. Like, if you're trying to flex your creative vision or whatever, then yeah, it's fine. I haven't seen anything like this before. But there's too much light, and the film shows off too much. We don't need to see the bear. It would be better if they left it up for the imagination. The costume is something straight out of a carnival minigame. Also, that's CGI though. Apart from that, the film at least looks good from a production standpoint, and the acting is mostly solid, apart from a few instances.
Well, what do we do? Do we go in there?
Oh, and the music. Really well done. I definitely would not make it into a full-length horror movie by any means, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I will also give Dual a 5 out of 10.
I'm sorry, I can't stop them now.
Next film. Coming up, we have the short Milk Teeth. This is essentially a new horrifying take on the Tooth Fairy. What if the Tooth Fairy was evil, and lived beneath your bathroom, and looked up at you while you were taking it? The short opens up with a really disturbing visual. A kid is flossing his front tooth out. Yikes. The tooth pops out and flops down the drain. As Thomas sits there and feels sorry for himself, a voice speaks out to him.
Hello, Thomas.
The voice tells him that it's a friend and offers up a trade for his lost tooth. Out of the drain comes some dirty, muddy water, and poof, out comes an iron tooth. He puts it under his pillow, and when he wakes up, he finds that it has transformed into cold, hard cash. Since Thomas lives in a foster home, a couple show up looking for someone to adopt. Feeling envious that he wasn't chosen, Thomas spends his hard-earned cash to buy himself a comb, which he buys from the grumpiest shop owner of all time. Because that is the issue. I simply need to look better. As he's combing away, 3 bullies show up and start picking on him.
Where'd you get the money for it?
It was a gift from a friend.
You don't have any friends! You don't have any friends!
Thomas's BFF speaks on his behalf, telling them, I can fulfill all your wildest dreams. And since these are hormonal teenagers, you know at least one of them would have asked for some sloppy toppy. Down goes another tooth, and out comes more money. Instead of buying drugs and alcohol to drown their sorrows, these guys spend it on soap and fabric softener. You know, things that all kids love. Pretty wild that these kids are not even given basic hygiene products. Okay. They buy books, toys, soap, all kinds of things. Another family shows up, but again, someone else is chosen. So the kids start getting desperate. They rip, punch, and slam to get more teeth out. A new day, a new family. For once, Thomas's luck has changed. This couple actually wants him. But alas, he opens his mouth and they're like, ew, no teeth? Find us another pretty boy with a full set of pearly whites. Thomas screams, which seems to awaken something in the Tooth Fairy. It breaks out of its tomb and starts attacking everyone. It's real scary. Thomas tries to open a door, but then gets pushed by another kid, who hammers at the door twice, shoves Thomas, then is about to attack him with a hammer? What? How do you go from trying to escape to assaulting someone in the span of 2 seconds? Guys, there's a monster killing everyone. See? Thomas hisses at the demon fairy, who hisses back, then because it feels bad for him or something, gives back one of his old teeth and lets him live. Looks better already. So the short ends with Thomas being the sole survivor. So far, Milk Teeth has been the short film that I like the most. Again, I didn't find it scary at all, but it's really well made. All the characters feel like actual human beings for once, the acting was solid, and I enjoyed how we got to see emotions visually instead of through dialogue. Imagine if instead of this scene we got a voiceover saying some dumb shit like, not being picked made me feel real sad. It wouldn't have the same impact. Also, the practical effects were great. This actually made me uncomfortable a couple times. Like when he slammed his face into the sink and loosened his final teeth. Yikes. I will admit, I didn't love the final sequence when the demon just starts killing everyone, but that isn't really a deal breaker or anything. So my rating for Milk Teeth will be 7 out of 10. Unfortunately, I had to deduct a few points since it wasn't very scary, but great work nonetheless. And for my final short film, I will be watching Other Side of the Box, which coincidentally was the only horror short I'd watched before making this video, and after watching them all, is without a doubt my favorite. I'm not sure if it's because they're allowed more screen time than the others. It is 15 minutes to the previous 4, 10, and 12 minutes, but either way it makes good use of its time. I would highly recommend that you check it out before watching my review, because I cannot do it justice. Trust me on this one. It opens up with a bit of relationship banter between Ben and Rachel, which is always fun.
I swear, if any of those 2-inch broccoli end up on my plate, you're getting it. I have to deal with a disappointing 2 inches enough as it is.
There's a sudden knock on the door and some dude standing outside with a present. This guy is Sean. He's Rachel's ex and Ben's buddy. Ex-buddy.
Oh, I really don't want to see him right now.
I got it.
Sean? Long time, man. Good to see you.
Hey, Ben, this is a bad time.
No, I was just,
No, I was just about to, bang your ex. Would you like to come in and watch?
Yeah, sure, that'd be great, thanks.
We can tell there's some trouble history between these guys, and it's so awkward you could cut the tension with a knife.
Where are you at now?
Same place.
Oh, cool.
I'm really sorry everything went down before.
No, it's water under the bridge.
They do the whole long time no see shtick, and Sean hands over the present. And Sean is all, hey dude, like, I really need you to open this, like, right now. So Ben opens it, and inside is nothing but an empty void. Sean panics and pieces out, while Ben is left behind to explore the contents of the box.
What happened?
He left.
A flashlight does nothing, a pencil disappears, and here comes the definitely not inspired by Get Out scene.
Well, that's odd.
No kidding.
They read the letter that Sean left, and it essentially says, it cannot move while you're watching, whatever that means. They turn to look at the box, and now there's a head sticking out, staring at them with intent. Sean doesn't pick up his phone, and apparently the creature can also mimic their voices.
Dewey's got our voices.
What do you think it wants? What do you think it wants?
I said I don't know. Sean, hey, it's Ben. Look, call me back. Now.
To test what else it can do, Ben and Rachel look away for a second, and oh my god, it grew fingers. Using Sean's voice, the thing says, only Ben. Don't let him leave the house. This makes Ben come to the conclusion that he has to leave the house, and he wants to leave Rachel alone with it? Okay.
No, don't leave me alone here with this thing!
It's fine, we don't even know what it is, okay? It could be harmless.
Maybe listen to your girlfriend on this one, dude. So Ben takes the car, and Sean finally picks up the goddamn phone. Sean starts freaking out because, first of all, he had no idea the box monster could speak. Bad sign number 1. He had no idea Rachel was at the house. Bad sign number 2. And the box was only meant for Ben, so it was him who had to keep his eyes on it. Bad sign number 3, and that's the bingo. Ben gets a total oh no I done fucked up kind of look on his face and swiftly heads back to his house. It's pitch black, the chair has been knocked over, and Rachel is missing in action. He turns his gaze towards the basement.
Rachel?
Yeah? What's up?
Where's the box?
Fuck no. Dude, you can get a new girlfriend. You cannot get a new life. Ben is not deterred by the obvious warning signs and heads further down because he just has to turn off the shower. He sees his box buddy, gets distracted, falls over, and just look at how it ends. Now that is how you end a movie. Fucking fantastic. I'm feeling a strong 9 on this one. The only reason it is not a 10 is because I've only watched 4 so far, and I'm not sure if I want to start handing them out already. The acting is great, the atmosphere is great, it's a terrifying concept, and it leaves you with an unforgettable ending. The ending is without a doubt memorable, but even the first few scenes show how well made this is. The music in scenes is used very sparingly, like when Sean steps in, the music player stops and it really sets the mood for what's to come. All we hear is this off-putting wind sound. And I think the man in the box is a very compelling antagonist. It's not just a mindless killing machine, there's some brains behind it. It could have moved whenever Ben stopped looking at it, but it specifically waited for him to leave before making its move. And the fact that he's never fully shown, only parts of him, makes him much more interesting. The only tiny bit of criticism is that things aren't really fleshed out. Like how exactly could Sean gift wrap the box and send it to someone? But that is very nitpicky and by no means takes away from the movie. There's a limit to how much you can flesh out within 15 minutes, and I understand that. The good heavily outweigh the bad.
Is she here?
I'm here. I'm queer. I'm just here. I'm not gay.
Oh no, she's at her parents' house right now. She's decorating.
These are my final scores for the short films I watched. If you have a different opinion, that's completely fine. I don't pretend like I know what goes into making movies or anything. This is just my view and how I feel. If you enjoyed this video and want me to make more of these, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I appreciate all your support, and I will see you in the next one.